The Curious Case of Eric Gilbert, or Arik Gilbert. I don't know. Again, I don't name these people. A-R-I-K. Now, if you clicked on this video, chances are you already know who Eric Gilbert is. But anyway, brief summary here. 5-star, number 1 ranked tight end in America in the class of 2020. Out of the state of Georgia. Goes to LSU. Plays basically right away for LSU, which was no surprise to anybody that was paying any kind of attention. This guy was ready to play right out of high school. Now, Georgia, also in the class of 2020, got the number 2 ranked tight end. Another 5-star, Darnell Washington. He was not ready to play right away. Not all 5-stars are created equal. 5-star rating means very high probability of getting drafted in the first round 3 years down the road. It's nothing to do with somebody's ability to play today. Now, so here a lot of people say, well, Darnell and Eric, both 5-stars. Yes, both 5-stars. Eric Gilbert, way better out of high school than Darnell Washington, period. Let's just start there. Because you have a lot of Georgia fans going, well, Kirby didn't want Eric Gilbert. That's why he went after Darnell Washington. No, Eric Gilbert didn't want Georgia. And that's kind of the point of this video. Eric Gilbert didn't want Georgia, and he made that clear early on. So rather than waste a bunch of time on him, Kirby went to the next best option, which was Darnell Washington. And I love Darnell Washington. I absolutely love Darnell Washington. 6'8", 280. I mean, if the guy ever reaches his potential, he's going to be uncoverable. And that could happen this year. We saw flashes last year. He got better and better every single week last year. You also have to remember, a guy like Darnell Washington, who needed some work before he was really college ready, had no offseason, no spring practice last year, no real summer conditioning because of the COVID situation. So once the season started, it took him a little while to get ramped up and to get going, but he had flashes, particularly in the second half of the season. And there's reason to be very optimistic that he's going to have a huge year in 2021. But I wanted to start there. Eric Gilbert, clearly the best tight end in the class of 2020. Clearly. Not even close, in my opinion, between him and Darnell Washington in terms of ability to play right away last year as a freshman. Now, who's better 3 years down the road? Well, we'll talk about that 3 years down the road. Back to Eric Gilbert, because he's in the news, it seems like constantly, but now here we go again in the last week here. Plays at LSU last year, plays well, plays real well at times, plays a lot. Then at the end of the season, he announces he's transferring, and people scratching their head. Well, what's this guy doing? He was all in on LSU. Now after 1 year, a weird year, yes, LSU was bad, but come on, we all know LSU is not as bad as their record indicated last year. They were 5-5. I mean, they're winning 10 games this year. I mean, they're just too much talent on that team. I know the West is tough, but come on. LSU's not going to have. They're not Tennessee. They're not fixing to have a bunch of 4 and 5 win seasons. It's just not happening. He announces he's leaving LSU. So, and then, of course, the Georgia man, oh, my God, he's coming home. I'm going to get Eric Gilbert. Look at Kirby doing work. Here we go. No, so what does he do? Well, he dilly-daddle around, with his Twitter and his Instagram and this. Then he come out, well, I'm going to Florida. Going to Florida. That's what Eric Gilbert told you 3 months ago, whatever. Going to Florida. Well, that lasted about 2 weeks. Then here we go again on the Twitter and the Instagram. Leaving Florida. I'm leaving Florida. Changed my mind. Don't want to be at Florida. Please don't bother me with any questions. I won't be making any statements or comments until I pick another team. Just leave me be. And then the rumors started. And, this happens all the time with players from all over for a variety of different reasons. These rumors start. Why is he transferring? Well, there must be something wrong. Must be something wrong. Maybe there is. I don't know. You don't know. Some of the rumors, with Eric Gilbert, the rumors range anything from he never went to class at LSU to he went to class but slept or whatever and failed everything to, well, he didn't fail everything, but he is not academically eligible for this coming year because of the grades he got. I've heard all those things. I don't know if any of those things are true or not. I have no idea. We're going to find out You know, this started when he left Florida, and people were like, well, he had to leave Florida because Florida found out he was academically ineligible. Seems like Florida would have looked into that ahead of time before they went ahead and accepted his commitment. I don't know. I mean, seems to me one of the first things you look at when you're considering taking a football player, whether it's a recruit out of high school or a transfer, first, you look at his talent. Second, you look at the needs of your team. Third, oh, well, is he eligible? I mean, that's kind of important to know. Now, Dan Mullen's a bumbling idiot and a third-rate circus clown, so maybe it's possible he never even bothered to check into all that. And then by the time he did, he didn't like what he saw, so Eric Gilbert makes the announcement that he's leaving Florida. The point of all that is that they're rumors. I don't know. I'm not saying any of those things are true, but all those rumors are out there. So to just not even mention it in this video would be just ridiculous. I mean, those rumors are out there. As far as how I feel about Eric Gilbert, well, like I said, from a football perspective, he's an NFL player. There's not a team in America, there's not a college team in America that Eric Gilbert could not help. Period. He's that good. He would start and play a lot on any college team that gets him. That's just first and foremost. But I love Darnell Washington. I love Darnell Washington. Would I take Eric Gilbert if he decided to come to Georgia? Because that's what you're hearing now. Oh, Eric Gilbert, I said, come to Georgia. Of course. Well, what if he's academically ineligible this year? Well, then I guess he'll play next year. If he's at Georgia, that means he's not anywhere else. If he's at Georgia, he's not at Alabama. He's not at Ohio State. He's not at Clemson. Not at Oklahoma. He's not, if he's at Georgia, he can't hurt us. So, of course, if that's what he decided to do, what am I going to do? No, we don't want, of course you want him. If we don't get him, am I upset, heartbroken, disappointed, or mad? No. He's had 2 opportunities to pick Georgia. He's from Georgia, grew up in Georgia, lived in Georgia, played high school ball in Georgia. Recruitment comes around out of high school, never even considered Georgia. Gave him the bird. Went to LSU. That didn't work out for the reasons we've already talked about or the rumors we've already talked about. So he has another opportunity to pick Georgia. Does he do it? No. Gives Georgia 2 birds by going to Florida. One of Georgia's biggest rivals throughout the 100-year history that we've been playing. And the only real threat to Georgia in the SEC East over the last 5-6 years. I mean, it's been Georgia and Florida winning the East every year since, 2012? So, am I going to be shocked when he finally does land somewhere and it's not Georgia? No. Why would I be shocked? He's already not picked Georgia twice. And like I said, he's an amazing football player. And if he does come to Georgia, great. You're behind Darnell Washington, though, in my mind. Forget talent. Learning the plays, getting along with your teammates, chemistry with the quarterback. Darnell Washington is ahead of Eric Gilbert at UGA in those areas right now. And I'm in love with Darnell Washington. Darnell Washington, if you're listening, and I'm pretty sure that you are, Uncle Lou loves you, sir. So, Eric Gilbert, amazing talent. The guy will be playing in the NFL at some point. Period. How much better would Georgia be? Let's say Eric Gilbert is eligible this year, that all this academic stuff is not true. Let's say Eric Gilbert is eligible in 2021 and comes to Georgia. How much better is Georgia with Eric Gilbert in 2021 than they would be without him? Not much. Not much. Not a whole lot of 2 tight end sets in college football recently. Maybe you've noticed. Maybe you've noticed. Oh, you can split Darnell Washington out. Great. You can split any tight end out. Still a tight end. You're not... There's not a whole lot of 2 tight end sets in college football. It's just not. I mean, so... And again, this isn't me trying to pretend that Darnell Washington is better than Eric Gilbert overall now or potentially down the road or whatever. Clearly, Eric Gilbert was the best tight end coming out last year. Eric Gilbert was better than Darnell Washington last year at LSU. Well, he won't be at LSU this year. Even if he comes to Georgia, like I said, he's got to learn the plays. He developed the chemistry, all that. This is stuff that Darnell Washington now has a 1-year head start on over Eric Gilbert at UGA. I don't see where the huge improvement is for Georgia by getting Eric Gilbert. I don't see it. I'd much rather get that criminal from Clemson that they won't stop crying about. I'm going to make another video about that. I'm not even going to talk about that. These crying taters are really embarrassing themselves, Clemson fans. A C- program and a C- fan base, too. Anyway, to me, the biggest benefit of landing Eric Gilbert is that means he's not somewhere else. I don't see where Eric Gilbert makes a huge impact on Georgia's team this year. I don't see it. You got the risk of being ineligible, which means he would have no impact at all. Even if he is eligible, we've got Darnell Washington. He's amazing. How often I don't know how often do you think Eric Gilbert and Darnell Washington be on the field at the same time? Not often. Not often. Even at Georgia, running team. Go back and watch last year. Let me know how many times you see 2 tight ends out there. It's not very often. That's the point. As Georgia fans, we've been crying for 5 years wanting Georgia to open things up, spread it out, throw the ball more. We start doing it last year. Now you people want to bring in 2 tight ends again? What else you want? Veron Haynes at fullback again too? Would that make you happy too? I mean, so what's going to happen with Eric Gilbert? I have no idea. This is Eric Gilbert. More like What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Remember that movie? What's eating Eric Gilbert is what I want to know. Is he climbing water towers too? Have a good morning.